Yes, guys, Marty from AFTV. Arsenal have just beaten Athletic Club 2-0, gone into their own backyard and done a job on them. I am here with my main man, Ryan C., who is going to give his thoughts, views, opinions on this Champions League game. Ryan, talk to me.
You know what? I'm happy we won, but the 2 goals, the way they came, if you look at that scoreline on the screen, you'd think it was an easy, routine kind of win. To me, that was one of the most horrific performances I've seen.
Really?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I was actually putting myself out there and saying Arsenal fans are a bit more confident going into this game than they should be. But you know what? On full time, I could see why United battered them last season. You know, that they were terrible in attack. Now, if you were to flip it back to their chances, if they actually took their chances, if they were actually okay in attack, I do think they could have scored. And I do think we'd have been in trouble, man. I do think our lack of the fact that they were poor, and they're at home as well, the fact that they were really poor is what saved us in this game.
So do you not think our defensive prowess and depth, stifled the Athletic Club in that game and stopped them, basically coming at us and applying loads of pressure? Because, in the first 15 minutes, we weren't great, granted, in the first half. And I think if they had applied a bit more pressure or we were not as resolute at the back, it could have been a very different game.
No, that's a fair point. And again, I'm going to take that opportunity to pick up Christian Mosquera. Again, another guy just going under the radar in terms of good performances. So yeah, him and the fact that we were, we have been generally a defensive unit since last season. So yes, in a way, I get where you're coming from, but our attack is still worrying for me. The fact that, big up Madueke, he was our brightest spark. His final ball wasn't great at times, but if it wasn't for, Gabby and Trossard doing bits on both goals, they were both involved, I'd even say Madueke would have been man of the match.
Yeah.
So I do think in general, even Eze was surprisingly bad.
Yeah.
But again, it wasn't so bad. I'm saying in general, the team was bad. For me, Eze is more of a central attacking player. And this is where these are the kind of games that are showing it for me, man.
Okay, so right, we're going to talk about these substitutions that were made by Mikel Arteta. Yeah. Was that a tactical masterclass, bringing on 2 players that changed the game?
I think tactical masterclass is given a huge amount of credit. And again, I don't want to dampen it because look, I can guarantee you, I don't even say it, at least 80% of the fan base was saying don't bring on Martinelli. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And that's across the globe. They were probably saying, "Don't do this." And I think it's a fair point as well because Martinelli he's been disappointing. The actual setup he had for the goal, for Trossard's goal, he actually took on his man, he crossed it, and it went to Trossard. Fair enough for the finish, but that's what we've been missing from Martinelli. So I'll give Arteta that. The first goal as well, that was his first touch.
That's nice of you.
No, that was his first touch. So Mosquera headed it out. Trossard then assisted Martinelli. I'm going to criticise it slightly, Chaz. I don't know if you noticed this.
Go on.
You might have actually. Had he have missed that or keeper saved it, everyone would have jumped on him. Now, you probably saw Madueke was running in.
But he didn't.
But he didn't. Okay, cool. If I like a woman, if I'm in love with her, and if I don't move to her straight away, I wait till the wedding day and gate crash the wedding. Yeah. What do you call it? Which is the most?
If you get the result, mate, and you take her home, then you've got the result.
That's
smash and grab, son. Smash and grab.
What's more practical?
All right. So is this your still in? If in doubt, Arteta out.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
I still look. As far as I'm concerned, I'm leaning towards out. And the reason why is no other manager would get this long in football to do this and experiment and do what they're doing. It's good in a way that, he did build a unit. He did what he had to do. But 3.5 years without a striker, I'm looking at a bigger picture.
Is that his fault, though? Is that not a sporting director's issue?
So buying Marino as a defensive midfielder initially, whose idea
Edu.
was that? Yeah, no, Edu. And, I'm not taking everything away, but how much involvement does he have as a manager? We'll never know. But I'm sorry, but if you have a team, you have to say, look, I need this, I need that. People that are not even into football could say Arsenal never had a number 9.
But listen, we've done that in the transfer window, and this is what we're seeing now. And I understand, but we've had 5 games, scored 11 goals, conceded 1, and that was only through an absolute world class free kick, which unfortunately got given in a situation. What I'm seeing now with Arsenal is we're not conceding, we're scoring. We're beating goals. It wasn't just a 1-0, it was a 2-0. And I like what I see, and especially moving forward into this Manchester City game. You know, they're coming to our place. They've got to perform. They've got to do the business. Obviously, you've got Haaland up front, and you know, a plethora of players in Man City that can hurt teams.
I don't say no. I don't completely disagree with you, but I'm just saying in the context of the whole thing, he's been here 5.5 years. You could go back to my Bournemouth fan cam in 2019 when I was saying, look, we're experimenting here.
Do you think today's still an experiment? Because you've said that a couple of times. Do you think today was an experiment? Do you not think it was a clear-cut, right, I'm going to bring these guys on? Because, listen, one thing everyone knows in world football, I think that Trossard, he's known. What I didn't like, Trossard, listen, I respect him as football. Is he a starter? He for me, he's most effective as being impactful, bringing him off the bench. And how many times Arsenal fans have we seen him go and change games for us, which is massively important, you know? And he's gone on, he's come and got the goal, and that's what happened. They both combined today.
No, I agree with you on. Trossard to me is a good impact player. We've seen sometimes when he started, he's not really been that effective. I think it was maybe Man United away the end of the season before. I think he scored. We won 1-0. There's been a handful of games, but most of the time, Trossard's good to come off the bench and change things. I'm not taking that away. You've given him a new contract, which I think is good if he stays as a squad player. But the whole Martinelli thing, you could forgive the fan base for not wanting him to come on. Obviously, we don't know what's going on in training. Maybe it's a confidence thing. Maybe it's a system change. Maybe it's Arteta ball. You know, yeah.
Arteta ball was pretty good tonight, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so.
Ooh.
I don't think so at all. Did you see that game that we watched, bro?
Yeah, 65 minutes was... Yeah.
Listen, you know me, I go to away games. I didn't end up in Bilbao and I'm happy now. Yo, listen. That by no means was a good performance. I'm sorry. Like you could pick up pockets like Madueke, minus his final ball was a very bright spark. Trossard and Martinelli. Martinelli, I've never seen him with so much confidence around the last 2 years anyway. That was crazy. I hope that actually reboots him and he's like, let's go back to what I was. Like, you know, I watched him not first time, but I mean, when I watched him at Stamford Bridge, we drew 2-2 and he took on, Kante did a madness, but he took on it, he ran up the pitch and he scored, you know, and you're just thinking.
We won that 2-0, I think, didn't we?
No, we didn't.
Right.
Back then, Trenches days. We were
Trenches days. I remember them days. Don't worry. Let's forget that.
I was there, man, and this is my point that I'm trying to make. It's just like Martinelli is a very good player in there, and we know this. It's just the last 2 years have not been good enough. But
Brian, you know, it's interesting you say this Trenches days, and I agree with you. Because when I was there and in that, and I just want to ask you this question: is that still maybe holding on to that, like some people hold on to? And I'll be honest, I'm a bit guilty with Martinelli holding on to this romance that he's going to become good and stuff. But today he did, you know, with Trossard and twice. And like you say, you know, if it doesn't go in the back of the net, but they got it right twice. You know, they say once could be a fluke, but twice is definitely not an accident. So.
Yes, and look, there's a bigger picture. There's a huge picture. It's like you could have a bad day hosting AFTV. You never do, by the way. I'm not.
Oh, say the nicest thing.
No, but really,
I'll give the money later, mate. Yeah.
No, but listen, if you did, it doesn't take away everything you've done. Like, you know, I'm trying to say.
Have I done that much?
No. I love how you turn it into you, but I started that. But no, but there's a bigger picture. Like, someone could have a really good game, but overall they've not been great. So I'm saying it works in both ways. Yeah. Like we've seen season wonders like Michu at Swansea. This obviously I could think of more later, but I'm just saying that these things happen. My point is we've had all this time to do things. It's been taken 3.5 years to get a striker, and now we need to adapt to this striker. We haven't adapted to this striker. Do you know what? I actually feel a bit sorry for Gyökeres. People that have criticised him.
Yeah, so do I. After having Big Gabby stick it right in the back of him.
Yo, listen, you see that? It's bigger than that. The stitches.
Big,
you know what I'm saying? The stitches are crazy. He's gonna need stitches.
He's stuck the nut on him, mate.
Well, as you said, Gabby, like he's got the most.
The worst out of all the players on the pitch. Honestly, he is the last one that I'd want to do that. Like he is. We know we've seen him power headers. He's a powerhouse. He
is, man. But that's the thing. And credit to Gyökeres for carrying on. Yeah. Obviously, when health comes first, though, if he's had to come off, he's had to come off, or if he had to come off straight away because the referees make a decision, or the medical staff make that decision, isn't it? But aside from that, Gyökeres has looked very isolated over all his games. Yeah. You know, he scored even against Bilbao in pre-season, and you know we've seen what he can do. But the thing is, we've seen this at Sporting. People like to criticize the Portuguese league. They like to say, "Oh, but he's only scored against these teams, that team." Fairness, when I went up to Sporting last season, and watched Arsenal win 5-1, he was anonymous. But we had the game that time. But we need to play to his strengths. If we don't, look, we see him trying to make these runs. We've seen it. And sometimes, and you've probably seen it today, it takes so long to release the ball sometimes, or we're going backwards. It doesn't help a striker that needs service.
I think that Portuguese league thing. I'm the only person that I currently see that with it relates to is Ruben Amorim, but that's a complete. That is a definitely. But that is another conversation. 100%. So just quickly, thoughts. Sunday, big game, City.
Do you know what? Again, just like this Bilbao game, I'm going to actually say we could win because again, City have. What's going on with them? Anyway, again, another conversation. Yeah. But we need to go out with the strongest team. I do want to see Gyökeres start if he's fit. Yeah. Even if we played with Marino, I think we could win. But we shouldn't underestimate them, man. Who knows? They could try and get back into. Obviously, they beat Man United, but that doesn't. Both Manchester teams have not. Well, obviously, Man United on another level of bad, but Manchester City since. Especially since we beat them 5-1, haven't actually been.
Rodri, mate. Rodri's been out. Listen, that's again.
Season.
But look, Ryan, it's been an absolute pleasure to watch it with you on the watch along. Speaking of watch alongs, AFTV have a watch along at Box Park in Croydon on Sunday, covering the Arsenal versus Manchester City game. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Please check it out. Please check out all the other fan cams and all the other content of the guys out in Bilbao. It is absolutely phenomenal. Marty, and also let us know in the comments what you think about Ryan's opinions around the game and Arsenal Football Club. Marty from AFTV signing out.